Hello guys, you're welcome to IDC Learning Center YouTube channel. For today's video, we are going to look at National Senior Certificate Examination 2023 Mathematics Questions and Answers. Please, this is a preparation class that will help you as you take your exam, which is very close. We look at the instruction you are supposed to obey. For those of you that are preparing for this exam, you are supposed to read the following instructions carefully once you are given your question paper. This question paper consists of 10 questions. You are made to answer all the questions. By the time you are done with the instructions and information, we are going to look at question 1. So you are going to have question 1, question 2, and so on and so forth. But just remember that this question, usually the mathematics question, is made up of 10 questions. Now let's look at question 1. We have 1.1, which have sub 1.1.1. You've seen the questions, down to 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So for today's video, we are going to just look at question 1, and in subsequent video, we look at question 2 to 10. But let's look at the very first question. On question 1, 1.1.1. How do you solve a question like this? This question says bracket 3x minus 6 bracket x plus 2 equal to 0. So the first thing you need to do is to expand the bracket. Use this first term to multiply each of the term in the second bracket or parenthesis. 3x times this x will give you 3x squared. 3x times the plus 2 will give you plus 6x. I'm done with 3x. You go to minus 6. Use minus 6 to multiply each of the term in the second bracket. Minus 6 times x, the first term here, will give me minus 6x. Minus 6 times plus 2. Minus times plus is minus. 6 times 2 is 12, equates to 0. Now, plus 6x minus 6x will give me 0. Just same as saying 6 minus 6 is 0. So I'll be left with 3x squared minus 12 equal to 0. Move minus 12 to the right hand side. The minus will change to plus. So you have 3x squared equal to 12. The minus is now plus. Remember, we are solving for x. So we divide both sides by 3, trying to make x stand alone. 3 here 1, 3 here 1, 3 here 1, 3 into 12 is 4. Note, x squared equal to 4. To get the value of for x, you square both sides. The reason why I'm doing this is because, you take the square root of both sides, because the square will break the square root. X stands alone, and the square root of 4 is 2. Here we go, we have our answer. Alright, let's take the next question, which is question 1.1.2. Solve for x as well. Remember, we have the questions here under 1.1. So we are taking the next. 2x squared minus 6s plus 1 equal to 0. You are meant to correct to 2 decimal places. To solve this question, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Seeing this is a quadratic equation. X minus x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Divide everything by 2a. Alright, the quadratic formula helps us solve any quadratic equation. First, we need to bring the equation to this form, to the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b, and c are coefficients, then we plug these coefficients in the formula. All right, now we using the formula x equal to for this is a, this is b, and this is c. Let me bring it out here. A, the coefficient of x squared is 2, b is minus 6, and c is plus 1. So back to the quadratic formula, minus b will be minus, what is b? Minus 6, plus or minus, take the square root of b, remember, is minus 6. So we have minus 6 squared, minus 4. What is a? A is 2. What is c? C is 1. Okay, now divide everything you have by 2a, 2 bracket a, which is 2. Hope this is clear. All right. Now, x will give me minus bracket minus 6. Minus times minus is plus 6. We have plus 6 plus or minus the square root. Minus 6 squared is something as minus 6 times minus 6, which is plus 36. Minus 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 1 is 8. You divide this expression by 2 times 2, 4. Okay? To solve further, x will give us equal to 6 plus or minus root 28. Since 36 minus 8 is 28, you divide everything by 4. Now calculate the two possible values of x. X will be 6 plus square root of 28 is 5.2915. I approximated it. Divide by 4. X here is approximately 2.82 to 2 decimal places. That's for the positive side of x. Now, again, x for the negative part, 6 minus root 28 over 4. You know, it's plus or minus. I did the plus, now the negative, the minus. What will it give us? X equal to 6 minus square root of 28 is 5.2915. You divide this by 4. X is approximately 0.18 to 2 decimal places. So final answer, x is equal to 2.82 or x is equal to 0.18 to 2 decimal places. I'm sure this is clear. The next question now, question 1.1.3. This question says find x when x squared minus 90 is greater than x. For this inequality, we need to bring all terms to one side of the inequality to get it in standard form. Okay, like I said, we need to bring all terms. So x squared here minus x. Bring x, the one at the right hand side, to the left. It will give us minus x. That's how I got this. Now minus 90 is already here. Equate everything to 0. If you look at this inequality, it's already in factored form. So we need to find the critical point. Critical point, I mean values of x that makes the expression equal to 0. That's the meaning of critical point. So to do this, we need to set the inequality to be equal to 0 and solve for x. That means I'll have x squared minus x minus 90 equal to 0. Now I've set the inequality to be equal to 0. Is that fine? Good. The next thing, let's factorize, solve this quadratic equation. Multiply the first term with the last term. Okay? This will give me minus 90x squared. Isn't it? Now let's find the factors of minus 90x squared that will give me minus x if I sum them together. 9x minus 10x will give me minus x. And 9x times minus 10x will give me minus 90x squared. So I can use these two factors to replace the middle term, which is minus x. So my new expression will be x squared plus 9x minus 10x minus 90 equal to 0. Is this clear? Now group them, factorize. Group this and this. Break them into two parts. For the first part, what is common is x. So I'll pick x. I'll have x left here if I remove x. If I remove x from 9, I'll be left with 9. What is common here? I can remove minus 10. If I remove minus 10 from x, I'll have x. If I remove this minus and 10 from this, I'll be left with plus 9. Minus 10 times x is minus 10x. Minus 10 times plus 9 will give you minus 90. Equate everything to 0. Now, since the terms in the bracket are the same, you pick one. Put the term outside the bracket in the bracket. That's x minus 10. They are in the bracket now. The terms in the bracket are x. The terms, sorry. Alright, so we have x bracket x minus 10 close bracket. That's the term outside the bracket. Okay, sorry about that. So the term outside the bracket, we have bracket x minus 10 close bracket. Then I said since we have same term for the bracket, so we'll pick one, which is x plus 9. Equate everything to 0. Solve for x. X will simply be 10, or x plus 9, move 9 to the other side, will be minus 9. So if we create a sign chart to test intervals and determine the regions where the inequality holds true, we'll find out that x will be less than minus 9 or x will be greater than 10. And this will be the final answer. Alright, let's look at the next question, which is 1.1.4. For this question, we are going to solve for the value of x. X minus 7 root x equal to minus 12. Now, the first thing we need to do is to eliminate x, the x in the left-hand side, not the one in the square root. So we need to add minus x to both sides for that to happen. So we are going to have x minus 7, adding minus x to both sides, root x equal to minus 12 minus x. I added this minus x to the left hand side so that this minus x and this x cancels. It's just like adding minus x here. This is plus x. Both will cancel. So I'll be left with minus 7 square root of x equal to minus 12 minus x. Now, the next thing we need to do here is to divide both sides by minus 7. Divide this side by minus 7. Divide this side by minus 7. So that minus 7 cancels minus 7. I will now have the square root of x is equal to minus 12 minus x over minus 7. The target is to find the value of x. So what we need to do now, alright, so to break this square root so that this x can stand on its own, we need to square both sides. In math, whatever you do to one side, you must do same to the other side. That's why I have to square both sides so that this square breaks the square root. If that happens, now let's get the value of x. Okay, if that happens, x will give me brackets minus 12 minus x close bracket minus 7 now square. Now the next thing we need to do is to square the expression. Squaring the expression is for you to know that the square roots affect both of them, the square over minus 7 square. Now we've squared the expression. We need to expand the numerator and simplify. To expand the numerator, the square means you need to repeat the numerator, minus 12 minus x, bracket bracket, minus 12 minus x, close bracket. Minus 12 times minus 12 will give me plus 44. Minus 12 times, I use this 12 to multiply this. Now minus 12 times minus x will give me plus 12x. Go the other, minus x times minus 12 will give me plus 12x again. Then minus x times minus x will give me plus x squared. If I rewrite this, this will give me a quadratic equation. So this same thing as x squared plus 12x plus 12x will give me 24x squared. Sorry, 24x, the square is not there. 12x plus 12x is plus 24x plus 144 equal to x. But this is the numerator. The denominator is minus 7 times minus 7, which will give me plus 49. Now we've gotten to this step. To find the roots of the equation, we need to set x equal to 0 and solve for x. It will now give me x squared plus 24x plus 144 equal to 0. Set x as 0 over 49. Cross multiply. If you cross multiply, it will give me x squared plus 24x plus 144 equal to 49 times 0, which will give me 0. Now we solve for x using the quadratic formula. Remember, the quadratic formula is x equal to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac. Now divide everything by 2a. Remember what we need to do. The coefficient of x squared is 1. Let it be a, let it be b, let it be c. So x will give me minus b. B is 24. That's 24 plus or minus root b, which is 24 squared minus 4. A is 1, don't forget, and c is 144. Divide everything by 2a, and a is 1. Now, x, the value of x will be minus 24 plus or minus the square root. 24 square times 24 square will give me 576. Minus 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1, 4, 4 will give me 576. Divide everything by 2 times 1, which is 2. So x will give me minus 24 plus or minus square root of 0. Since 576 minus 576 is 0, divide everything by 2. Since the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac is 0, right? What you have in the square root is 0. There is only one real root, which is x equal to minus 24. You know, minus 24 plus square root of 0 is minus 24. Minus 24 minus square root of 0, which is 0, is minus 24. So you just have minus 24 divided by 2. So the answer will simply be minus 12. I'm sure this is clear. All right. Now let's take the next question. The next question, which is 1.2, I'm done with the whole 1.1. Now, this is a simultaneous equation, but this is not like the regular conventional simultaneous equation. I'm going to tell you why. 2x minus y equal to 2, xy equal to 4. Let this be equation 1. Let this be equation 2. Now, using equation 2, let's solve for y in terms of x. So from equation 2, since xy is equal to 4, let's get the value of y by dividing both sides by x. Here, x cancels x. Y will simply give me 4 over x. I have the value of y as 4 over x. Now what I have, let it be equation 3. Substitute the value of y, which is 4 over x, into equation 1 since I started from equation 2. From equation 1, 2x minus y is 2. Therefore, 2x minus, what's the value of y? 4 over x will give me 2. To solve for x, first we need to clear the fraction by multiplying everything by x. So 2x times x minus 4 over x times x equal to 2 times x, 2x, since I'm trying to clear the fraction. Okay, so 2x times x will give me 2x squared minus this x cancels this x. I'll be left with minus 4 equal to 2x. Now I've gotten a quadratic equation. Move 2x to the left. It will give me 2x squared minus 2x minus 4. Equate everything to 0. Alright, let's just factorize. You know, 2x times minus 4 will give me minus 8x squared. Let's think of the factors of minus 8 that we can just hold on. Alright, the factor of minus 8x squared that we can sum up to get minus 2x and multiply to get minus 8x squared. The answer is 2x minus 4x. This is 4. 2x minus 4x is minus 8x squared. 2x minus 4x will give me minus 2x squared. So I'll use 2x minus 4x to replace this middle term. So it will now give me 2x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Now I can now group this and group this. For the first term, I can remove 2x from each term. If I remove 2x from 2x squared, I'll be left with 2. Right? If I remove 2x from this, I'll be left with 1. 2x times, hold on, let me take this again. I think there's a slight mistake. Let's take this again. What I can remove from here, hold on, I think, let me just go back a bit and take this all. Okay, so from here we have 2x squared. All right, replace this middle term I said with the factors of minus 8x squared, which is plus 2x minus 4x, now minus 4 equal to 0. Okay, so I'm right, group them. Remove 2x from both sides, I think I'm correct. I'll be left with x here plus 1, I'm right. 2x times x, 2x squared, 2x times 1, 2x. Remove minus 4 here, I'll be left with x plus 1 equal to 0. So that minus 4 times x is minus 4x minus 4 times plus 1 is minus 4. Now put what you have outside the bracket into the bracket. I will have 2x minus 4. Then since what I have in the bracket is the same, I'll pick one, x plus 1. Equate everything to 0. From the first bracket, 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. 2x moves 4 to the other side, becomes plus 4. Divide both sides by 2. 2 here 1, 2 here 1, 2 here 1, 2 into 4 is 2, x is 2. Now for the second, when x second bracket plus 1 equal to 0, move x to the other side, x will simply be minus 1. Now, we have two values of x. We need to find the corresponding values of y for each of them. From the third equation, we said that y is 4 over x. So if x is 2, y will simply be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Again, y is 4 over x if x is minus 1. Okay, so I said when x is 2, y will be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. When x is minus 1, x will be 4 divided by minus 1, which is minus 1. Alright? So, for x and y, x will be 2 and 2, or minus y and minus 4.